What if a single tweet didn't just go viral, but got you locked behind bars? What started as a controversial post on social media has morphed into a real-life nightmare, one that feels ripped straight from the pages of a dystopian thriller. We're talking bruises, solitary confinement, and a legal system that seems to have misplaced its sense of justice. Meet Lucy Connelly, a former nanny, now prisoner serving 2.5 years over a single tweet. That's not an exaggeration, it's the truth. A reality that raises more questions than answers. Richard Tye, a political figure from Reform UK, recently visited Lucy in HMP Peterborough and came back with chilling details. According to him, Lucy had been dragged by prison staff, left with bruises that were still visible days later, and thrown into a high-security unit alongside violent criminals. All this for a tweet. Let that sink in. Handcuffed, marched across multiple floors, placed in solitary confinement, 23 hours a day. Not because she attacked someone, not because she committed fraud, but because she posted a reactionary tweet. In the heat of a national tragedy, a justice system unbalanced. It raises a disturbing question. Has the justice system begun punishing people not for crimes, but for opinions? Lucy's tweet, no matter how provocative, was just that, a tweet. And yet the punishment looks more like political retaliation than due process. Barrister James Bogle made a stark comparison. Actual criminals, those who pose tangible threats to public safety, often receive lighter sentences than Lucy did for her online words. It's not just about legality anymore. This has become a moral issue. Despite being labeled a model inmate, Lucy has been denied temporary release on compassionate grounds, and her sudden transfer triggered a political storm, hinting that her imprisonment might be more about optics than justice. The Lucy Bill. When outrage turns into action, Richard Tye didn't stop at outrage. He proposed a law, dubbed the Lucy Bill. This proposal would allow 500 citizens to call for a special review of any sentence they believe is clearly unjust. A 3-stage process, designed not to busy but to ensure that justice doesn't slip through the cracks unnoticed. Will it pass? Unlikely, but it sends a message loud and clear that people are watching, and they're no longer willing to accept blind decisions from above. Meanwhile, in the real world, while Lucy sits in a cell for a tweet, over 50,000 rejected asylum seekers remain housed in hotels across the UK and the public's dime. That's not a typo. These are individuals whose claims have already been denied, yet they remain fully funded by taxpayers. Reform UK MP David Buckley revealed the numbers. There are around 150,000 pending asylum claims. The system processes only about 15,000 per year. That means backlog, overspending, and a housing crisis that's spiraling out of control. In Buckley's own constituency, 4,000 people have waited over 3 years for social housing, and in the past decade, only 6 council homes have been built. Meanwhile, hotel bills for failed claimants keep rising. Broken priorities, broken systems. So what does this all mean? It means we're living in a country where the justice system punishes online speech more harshly than physical violence, where political institutions spend more energy defending failed policies than protecting their own citizens, and where telling the truth, even if it's unpopular, can cost you your freedom. Lucy Connelly's case is about more than just a tweet. It's about whether we still value free speech, proportional justice, and moral clarity in our democracy. And that matters for every single one of us. What do you think? Was Lucy's sentence fair? Or are we witnessing the weaponization of the justice system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Say what you really think while we still can. And if this story made you think twice, hit that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered takes on the state of our politics. Because the truth, it's becoming harder to find and easier to punish. Now on to something else, making waves. Labour's Douglas Alexander just faced a storm of tough questions over the party's internal rebellion against Keir Starmer's welfare reform plan. Over 120 Labour MPs are threatening to vote against their own party's proposals, a rebellion big enough to destroy the government's working majority. Pressed live on air, Alexander struggled to hold the line, and when asked whether the Prime Minister still has control over his party, the dodge was as clear as the divide within Labour. It didn't stop there. A new MRP poll suggests if an election were held today, the result would be a hung Parliament, Reform UK leading with 271 seats, Labour falling behind at 178, just 1 year into office. And the government is already bleeding support. Add to that, questions about inflated defence spending, where even net zero initiatives and anti-migration policies are being lumped into the defence budget, and the public's skepticism is reaching a boiling point. So, where does that leave us? With a justice system that punishes tweets, an asylum system that overwhelms communities, and a political class fumbling under pressure. The question isn't just what happens next, it's what are we going to do about it? Let me know below. No filter, just a truth.